Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelova, and this is Let's Play Italy and Hearts of Iron 3, number 21. We left off invading the United States of America. We have gotten quite a bit of their eastern seaboard. There are some sections we'll just never bother to get to because they don't have any victory points. Right now we'll see the old plan was just to move forward from a few key places, land on these ports, and just generally move out. Well, that plan is now a bit outdated. So let's see. Let's see, Operation Plain, going into the Great Plains, so we'll give it some sort of Great Plainsy sounding name. I realize I probably should have done this before starting the video, but let's see. Whatever, I guess Operation Plain Striker. And the plan is essentially going to be a few things. First of all, key point is that we do not own the city of Philadelphia yet. That is a very key city, and it's one that we're going to definitely need to take. So we're going to move these forces around the city, probably get bogged down against the local forces here, but hopefully move in and secure Philadelphia proper. Whoops. Alright, yeah, so we'll move in, try to secure that area, close up this whole group, maybe pocket these forces, but they have a relief exit right there, so probably not. The main thing is that we get the port, though. So we'll just move our forces in and collapse that. Right here we can expect to move forward probably fairly significantly. We do have to close in on this group of American forces and hopefully just collapse that. These troops are going to also press around, and generally we're going to just see a large series of advances out of the south with some minor offensives up in the north, and maybe even complete stagnation up against the Canadians, although we may try to press forward if possible. Overall, though, that's just the gist of what we're trying to do right now. We'll see if we can actually pull it off, and we may as well start right now. I'm not sure what game speed it'll be at if I just start it. There we go, speed 3. That's pretty reasonable. Alright, we are facing some supply throughput issues. We're just going to charge these forces over. I wish we could surround them, but we don't have the supplies to do so. We'll keep our forces right there in Lexington, or in Washington, D.C. and hopefully get enough troops around the back of these American forces to just kind of win that area, or win in that area. We do have a lot of forces just nearby. These troops are going to keep pressing up. Hopefully, because we're bringing more armored in than they have, we'll just overwhelm them and hopefully win fairly well. Alright, so yeah, that's the general plan, is we'll just try to pull off everything that we're able to. I imagine we'll be able to do it fairly soon. We're going to have to rush over and try to just maintain that supply line for this troop, who is going a bit far and beyond what we actually need them to do, so we'll probably take Cleveland and then circle back down and over. Let's see, we could probably just attack that group. No, that's not going to work. More units can be deployed, even more bomber elements. We have quite a few of those, and while I would be tempted to start placing our bombing groups, I don't want to overdo it and overutilize our supply lines in the New World, which would be quite a big problem. So we'll see if we can't strategically bomb them from any neutral territory or any of our puppets. So if we can bomb them from our puppets, then we'll bring the strategic bombers into line. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. Alright, also this navy should now be large enough to split into 2 or even 3 or 2 new groups. Let's see. So carrier, 2 escort carriers. I guess they'll take a battle cruiser. I'll just try to make everything else even. So that's a bunch of destroyers. We have tons of destroyers. And a few light cruisers. So let's see, 5 light cruisers compared to 5 or so light cruisers, a few heavy cruisers. That should make them more or less equal. We'll funnel a few destroyers over to that group. This will become our 5th armada, and the next one will become the 6th, and we'll just move forward with the 2 of those, and just hopefully get all of that organized and set up so it can all be used fairly rapidly and hopefully to rather good effect. What matters is that we just move forward, keep everything organized, and make these 2 navies. We'll go ahead, rename this one, and just apply carrier air groups to them. I believe we actually took the carrier air groups to the new world just because I'm kind of dumb and didn't think about it. So we'll bring these 2 armada groups over here, add their carrier air groups, and let's see. These groups, strategic bombers. Do we already have a first strategic bomber, second strategic bomber, and all of that? Probably. Well, we'll just name it. First strategic, and we'll get the second strategic up and running. Alright, so these strategic bombing groups will move over. We'll bring everyone else over as well. We don't really have names for them just yet, but we'll get them. We'll rebase here. We have some naval bombers, some other groups. I'm sure we have our strategic bombers somewhere. Naval bombers there. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter all that much right now. And we'll bring these forces to bear against that group of soldiers. Hopefully win right there. These groups will charge forward. Looks like that battle's not going great, but it's hopefully not going too poorly. Great air forces happened to us, which is great for our air force. We'll bring in some additional forces to just win that battle there. And hopefully encircle them. Although it kind of remains to be seen whether or not that will work. These troops have to go up and just reinforce right there. Looks like we'll win that battle pretty handedly. And we'll bring more forces over and around. We don't really need to defend New Jersey. Seeing as if we do this right, it'll be able to just encircle all of our opponents. We'll hopefully win the Battle of Quebec pretty straightforward and quickly. Alright, all these forces are retreating up. We'll just chase them. We'll run this group behind these American forces in Philadelphia. Hopefully just trap them all there. And this group will go and just expand their zone of control, while also moving back to just assure they don't get surrounded or anything. This group will charge over and try to surround the surround Ottawa. We have a few technological advances occurring, which is pretty nice. More strategic bombers, so we'll just set them over here and eventually send them over, but not really all that quickly, as it doesn't matter all that much right now. Alright, this troop will just charge over and down, getting across the river and cutting off these forces from retreating. Can this group just charge over? Nope. Let's not try that again. Up here we have one. We're now even further encircling this city. And alright, that should all be good. We'll actually charge this group over, hopefully surround that area. These units will rush up. Looks as though we're under attack in Hamilton, which is where this unit's trying to encircle those forces, so it makes sense, it's not surprising. These armored units, one of them will go there, the others will just go around. We'll continue to bring these forces over. You guys will have to retreat, sadly. Alright, and there we go. If we can move our forces up to there, we can cut them off from any form of evacuation, which would be pretty nice. Evidently this unit had run out of supplies at some point, or just failed the battle and became too disorganized to go forward. Let's see, supply issues everywhere. Not really the greatest thing. This unit will charge up. Alright, so things are going at least fairly well throughout. Looks like we have to deal with an American counterattack. And we'll just bring everyone we can to bear. Battle of Philadelphia. Hopefully we'll win that. Battle of Knoxville we've won. Battle of Andrews somewhere else. Hopefully we'll get all these forces into position fairly soon. These troops will split up and attack various locations. Hopefully well. Quebec we have won. We'll keep this unit where it's at. Everyone else will charge forward. Can we just win in Alexandria? No, let's not do that then. Can we win right here? Yes, alright. Very well as well. Okay, now we don't have any supplies, so let's just charge over and defeat that American armored unit. If we can. We really need to win this Battle of Philadelphia. Let's get all of these close air support units. First of all, we should probably ground attack that group. Second of all, let's ground attack this group. Apparently we've lost right there. We'll bring this force down to just get a supply line, just to make sure that we actually can supply those troops. These units are all starting to move up. We'll just try to clean up this area. We'll actually move them up and over to here to cut off those forces entirely. So it's not going to just be a straightforward just invasion and conquest. We do have to do some bits and pieces around. We'll also just retreat, get these forces down to Montgomery, and then charge over. Alright. These troops will just keep charging. And we'll try to get to these key American areas. Looks like they are sinking some of our shipping, which is annoying and problematic. Can we just defeat that group? It looks like we might be able to. That's going to be an interesting battle. Hopefully it works out well for us. Let's see. Hopefully we'll cut off this group. We'll bring these forces to bear as well. Alright, hopefully that'll all piece itself together. And most of the battles are going very well for us. Look, we have to retreat over this way to just ensure that we get the surround on them. So we'll charge those forces over and up. Battle in Ithaca, Corbin, all of that we'll hopefully take care of. Pretty straightforward. These troops are going to continue marching over and up. It looks as though we won that battle, which is great news. We'll also charge up and hopefully surround those forces. Now it looks as though we can keep pressing forward, although a bit oddly this time around. They're making some large armored advance, but they don't actually appear to have any strategic objective with it. Alright, we have to charge over and just ensure that we keep getting supplies to these forces. Which means it's now the time for these troops to go back up. We can't even hope to win that battle, but we'll supply them from right there. Alright. Our forces are just generally advancing. We've won the Battle of Montreal, evidently. And all these forces are going to just keep going across the southern periphery of the United States, probably charge up inward in a moment. We have a lot of victory points just in front of us, and they're at 39% surrender progress. Alright, these troops need to roll over and take that. We'll probably just drive down through Texas and then up. So for instance, this group can probably go there, there, and there. This group can probably wheel around and upwards. That group's already doing its job fairly well. So we'll send this group up like that, this group up like so, and we'll get these large attack lines that these troops will take. Oops, clicked on the mini-map. Alright, these forces are all to keep moving forward. Hopefully that just deletes that unit. It does, hooray. We've lost that battle. But we've won the Battle of Philadelphia. That is now under our control. We'll rush these forces over to just deal with any forces that manage to get out and surround us. Hopefully that will all piece itself together fairly well. Looks like there's a very bad battle happening right here. And we'll just bring these forces over to reinforce, as well as these. Battle of Rome, apparently that's a city in America. Confusingly named if you're fighting the Romans. Which you could argue that that's exactly what they're doing right now. Alright, we'll continue to... Oops, apparently we lost that battle. Evidently that was a key battle we just kind of walked away from. Alright, we've won in Panama City. Those forces are all where they need to be. These troops will just start charging north. These men are all charging outwards, generally. That should be pretty straightforward and safe for them to do. We could gun it for the new American capital, and in fact we're going to do that. Can we win this battle? It looks like we can out loud. And this force will probably realize in a moment just how terrible of a mistake they've made. Let's get this navy out. Evidently we're immediately fighting a group. And let's go ahead, create new unit. Rebase to carrier. Create new unit. Create new unit. Rebase to carrier. And there we go, now we have another group of carrier air wing units just all there. So this unit's all ready to go. Not that there's really anywhere for us to put them that really needs it right now, so we'll just move them over to Cuba and rebase there. These forces will go ahead. You guys will wait for a moment so that the ships actually get there. Alright, rebase to carrier. And you guys as well will rebase to carrier. So there we go, these navies are now up to speed, not that they really need to be going anywhere. We'll just defeat that group, hopefully we'll be able to with nothing but mechanized units. That group's apparently just terrible, so let's not fight that. We'll win that battle pretty handedly, and hopefully just surround them. Winning battles just everywhere. I'm not sure where they'll retreat to. Sadly, they just retreated up to there. This unit will keep chasing that armored group. Looks like we can still win that, so that's good. And we'll just surround those forces. Apparently we're fighting for Allenstown every other moment. And there we go, that was right there, so that's all taken care of. We'll rush these guys across the river. These guys will sprint forward. This armored unit's going to stop doing that because that's apparently very suicidal. We lost the Battle of Little Rock and the Battle of Anders, though. Can we just defeat that group? Yes, we can. They're terribly disorganized. Where's this Anders place? Little Rock. Okay, we lost right there and we're disorganized, so we'll fall back so we don't lose our troops. These people will go all across the American South and just take over all of that. Albion. Tian. Apparently that's just the Norwegians we're still fighting. Yeah, it looks like we'll just defeat that group pretty easily. And rush over so they don't take Newark. Alright, all these forces are doing well. Looks like we'll need to support these guys. Can we just take Ottawa? It looks like we might. Alright, that's all piecing itself together pretty straightforwardly, pretty well. We'll rush this group onto the other side of the river. Albion won, Newark, Tracy lost, all these places we just lost. We'll start purging these forces over across the Canadian far north. That should all take care of itself pretty easily though. That battle's not going too great, but we have armored and they're just infantry, so hopefully it will turn into our favor pretty quickly. And we'll just keep trying to surround that group. And also move over and just retake all those supply areas from the American army, which is just rolling through them right now, kind of annoyingly. We'll rush this group over and around. Looks like Mexican forces are fighting us in Canada, which shows just a really good level of commitment from Mexico. I would be really happy if Mexico was on my side in this war, because they want it. What exactly are they wanting or going after, who's to say, but they definitely are investing themselves in getting it. Alright, this unit will carve its way up north and just start taking those victory points. You guys are all going to start trying to go through the center of the country and taking all the victory points just amassed throughout there. You guys will keep chasing down that group. Hopefully it'll work. And you'll notice that all of their resistance is kind of, well, just falling apart at this point. Even the Canadians are 46% of the way towards surrender, which means we're going to have to carve all the way through their country, though, because that's actually not that much. We already added the war goal of conquest against them. We'll add war goal to conquer the USA. Alright, that group's going to try to retreat into us, which would be nice. Kind of just get rid of them. Alright, everyone else, you're to just move up as quickly and just as much as you can. Hopefully they'll run out of supplies, that group. You guys are all to just keep moving forward. There's a new interim Canadian capital. We'll try to take that. We've won the Battle of Dallas, Saranac Lake, all these places. That's not really working. We'll try to just charge up. I imagine we'll be able to win that battle pretty handedly. This unit's actually fairly well organized now, so we'll have them go up in a moment. Alright, so this is all coming together really nicely. And we might even be able to just bring this all together into a rather rapid victory, which is the best type. All these troops will just charge over. They'll probably carve their way into Canada once they get nearby. We'll see if we can't attack that group from two angles, and it looks like it'll work. This group will try to rove around and over. This group doesn't want to cross the river. That would just be a waste of their force, so we'll move them up and try to defend those Canadian portions we've got. We'll keep chasing those Americans, hopefully not actually engaging them in combat until they run out of supplies. We'll charge into this group. Apparently we need to add you to a corps. Looks like there isn't even a fight because those paratroopers, I guess, are just not organized or something. Who's really to say? Maybe it's just the false icon of paratroopers. Doesn't matter all that much to us, I guess. Alright, we'll engage that armored with our armored, as you'll see. And just bring our mechanized infantry around the periphery to encircle them. And hopefully just end resistance there. Let's check the victory point map mode. We really should rush over and secure that nuclear facility. It's the last chance they'll have at nuking us, and we do not want them to be able to do that. These troops will encircle these enemy forces, then move deeper into the interior. Alright, can we just defeat that infantry unit now? Yes, we can. We have found underground resistance in Norway, which is good because there is some pretty strong evidence of it existing vis-a-vis the constant rebellions. And we could probably even drive that group forward, though there's no real reason to do so. Let's carry ourselves back over to this whole area. Jasper, we have won. Can we just charge in? And there we go. We'll just defeat them there. That will be straightforward and pretty easy. Alright, we have now carved our way over to the old, new American capital, and we'll just keep driving even further. This group will just go and support them on a slightly tangential basis, and these troops will all just move forward as well. This group will go and directly surround that American force, which will probably get them to surrender. Battle of Gadsden. Looks like we're actually getting fought down there, so let's bring these forces over. Where can we base you? How about right there? Apparently that's too difficult. We'll give it a few moments to take over. Alright, we can send them a move order. We'll go there and just hopefully reinforce. Do they not have carrier air groups? That's odd. First Armada should definitely have a carrier air group. We'll just leave that be for now. Let's see, there's that American armored unit. We'll eventually have to go deal with that, but right now it's not really being a problem. That brings the battle a bit more into our favor, which is very nice. And it's not as though we're losing organization or anything. We did lose this battle though, and those forces are disorganized, which is a problem. We'll just defeat that group pretty easily. Won the Battle of Syracuse, we'll just go around. Nashville, Tennessee, we've won. We forgot we were not fighting that group until they ran out of supplies. Alright, you can just defeat that group. You can charge over and take that Canadian portion. You guys will also go for that Canadian bit. You'll wrap around and then just carve your way through the center of their country. You're also going to just kind of carve your way through. Alright, so that'll all work. It'll all be straightforward. Hopefully. This unit can go ahead and attack. We'll defeat that American armored group if we're able to. Everyone else is still moving forward. And it looks as though we're definitely getting to the point near where they just really don't have very much hope of struggling on. Battles all over the place. We probably don't even have to worry about defending Europe from invasion at this point, obviously. I mean, it wouldn't really make sense for them to go ahead and invade us in Europe at this point, given the situation in the world. Although they might, with some of the forces they had stationed in Asia, as that would really be the last possible gasp of those forces against us. Some disgruntled rabble way over here in Turkey, where we have absolutely no troops for thousands of miles. So we'll rush that group over and then probably keep them more centralized. Back to here. More support carriers, so we'll just pile them up into that fleet. Alright, and everyone's just going forward. There's really probably not going to be very much more to it than that. We could even probably speed the game up to 4. I mean, we do keep pausing it every time things actually end up happening, just to avoid being surprised by it. But yeah, we'll go to the new interim Canadian capital. We'll cut off that group of retreating infantry. We just took that victory point without a fight. So we don't even need to deal with that anymore. We could just open up a new supply line to the rest of our forces. And everyone else is just gonna start gunning it. Just gun it right on into the American interior. Great Plains and all that. And that's really the downside to the United States now, is that it is just the Great Plains and all that now. Let's get all these close air support units. We'll fly them over to here. And I don't believe there's really anything they'll be able to do if we just start ground attacking them forever. 4th Air Intercept, you're just going to be aerially intercepting everywhere. You guys keep going forward. The Americans now no longer have a nuclear facility. We're also going to defeat that infantry before they surround us. Memphis, Tennessee. Gracefield we've lost. Where's Gracefield? Fort Smith. German nationalists. Alright, cool. AI's doing that. We'll hopefully be able to charge up. So we lost Gracefield. That's a problem, but not a really significant one. These forces can all hopefully win their battles. That one's going kind of poorly, but hopefully it'll go well enough. We'll also just snag that city. You guys are going to surround that group. Altoma we have won. Fort Gibson we have won. Looks as though we lost that rocket facility, which is kind of problematic, but not so very much so. We're going to stop attacking there. These troops will go up and help. Alright, you guys probably want to go down through the central route. More disgruntled rabble, far east though, where all the AIs will deal with them. Battle of Chicago isn't going great. We've won that battle though, so that's something. All these air units are taking up quite a bit of our supply. And it looks like we'll just be able to roll in and defeat them pretty handedly. Whether that's really due to the air support they're getting or not, I don't know and have no way of knowing. Alright, all these forces are to just keep gunning it. Battle of Chicago is going much better now. I believe that is the new American capital for the moment. Looks like it is, since I can't see their capital anywhere else. We'll try to defeat that infantry. The infantry in South Texas is gone. We could start charging into Mexico, but we don't really have the forces to land on them, which would be a bit of a problem and kind of just trap our forces there. Alright, these guys are all to just start moving up. Looks like there's a battle going poorly for us. We'll just reinforce from every other direction. And we won the battle immediately, so that's nice. We'll keep chasing down all these Canadians. And just charge through their frozen northlands. These units, we'll just have to deal with that infantry. We have won the Battle of Chicago, that is now ours. More ships. Alright. Everyone's just charging forward, doing their jobs, doing them well. We're actually going to turn this unit around and just go take over that victory point. All these central victory points I think will fall pretty rapidly now that we actually have troops there. We're still chasing down that group of infantry, but we'll eventually charge all the way over to Arizona. These forces are just carving a path now through Canada. Admittedly, that battle's not going too great, but we'll just charge around it. All those poor Mexican infantry groups are just not really going to be able to do very much in the frozen north, where they're probably not the most combat effective, I would imagine. Just given where they've probably trained. Alright, these troops all charge around and over and up and just wherever they can. Let's give these guys some longish term objectives. You're going to defeat that group, then charge over the new American capital of Minneapolis. shows how far they have fallen. No offense to those of you in Minneapolis, but let's be honest, it's no Washington, D.C. or New York City. Alright, all these forces are gunning it well and effectively. We lost a couple battles somewhere or other. Not too heartbroken by that, as that's probably not going to be the most important thing. We can just win that battle, that's great. We'll rush this force around. These troops will continue to follow that American armored unit. Pretty soon this whole area will be ours. It's nothing really of any use in this area, so we'll just charge over and around. You guys will all move over. Let's go ahead and ground attack you. Alright, you'll win that battle and just charge over deep into the interior. So go ahead and start charging into that interior. Where are you guys going? You'll also charge up to there. You guys will charge over to there. Keep just fighting. Apparently we lost the Battle of Fayette's something. Everyone else is moving forward and it's going great. Just gonna have to constantly deal with these paratroopers. Whitney, Huntingsville. Our forces are really charging through now. We're not even using our full industrial capacity, but I'm not even all that upset at that point, or at this point, because it doesn't really matter if we are or aren't. Fighting submarine flotillas and whatnot. It's going well. Production, if we are going to produce anything at all, we're going to need a lot of Marines. So we'll just build as many of those as we can, and we're going to rush them. Because we still need to do landings. That's probably going to be a major thing moving on. Let's go back to Europe for a second. Do we have any armored units left in Europe? We have one armored unit left in Europe. What about right here? No. Or nor there. Alright, this single armored unit is going to go take Xinjiang and just defeat that communist state. Hopefully that'll all work out fairly well. Alright, back to the main theater. The Americans are 70% of the way towards surrendering, which probably means that we'll get all the way to, but not actually reach, California before they give up. So, alright, that'll be interesting. This unit will actually send up north to just clean out these northern areas. The reason we're switching that prerogative is I realize we want to carve our way up north into these Canadian groups to hopefully force the surrender of the Canadians. Now we have more than enough forces just driving through the interior sections of the country to just make up for whatever forces are just lost or redirected away. So let's see, victory point, we'll just charge up. And that should be pretty straightforward. Take a look at victory points. We just took that one in Texas, so we'll charge into Mexico. That might provoke some response from the Mexicans. That's something we're going to have to risk. This unit will just charge over to the Pacific coast and just into California itself. You guys will just keep driving through these areas. And it looks like it's going pretty straightforwardly. And I'm sure everything will work out. crossing into the Mexican state. These forces will also surround that American armor and hopefully destroy that. Let's see what's up with this American armor. It's kind of just there now. Looks like it's having no problem getting supplies, which is kind of annoying. Alright, let's just charge over and deal with these Canadian groups. Alright, so this will all hopefully go pretty straightforwardly and go forward in a straightforward manner. Alright, well, whatever. There's no great way of saying that. Hopefully things will work well. We will try to attack that armored unit, and I imagine it must be somewhat lower on supplies now. Looks like we won there. Winning just everywhere. Victory points, charging everywhere. Gotta get those victory points wherever we can. Battle of Topeka. Where's Topeka? Over here in the middle bit. They do have headquarters and stuff just roving through, messing with our lines, which is a little annoying. No real troops, though. So it's just roving bands of American officers, which is just weird. And this unit will hopefully just conquer Mexico by itself. Good luck. Alright, 17th Corps, 109th Division, conquer all of Mexico. You 10,000 men conquer Mexico. You 10,000 men go conquer all of the southern states. You 10,000 men are dealing with all of the middle. You 10,000 men will charge up there. And just generally groups of 10,000 or so men rushing everywhere. The United States is storming our beach in Panama again. I mean, that's annoying and probably one of the few effective things they can do against us. Let's go ahead and rebase in DC for the moment. We'll have to take that back. Let's go ahead and rebase right here. Give a move order. Are there any units here? Not really. We'll bring these forces over and around. Hopefully that will all be an effective amount needed to get this all achieved, and achieved pretty straightforward. Hopefully without any complications. The rest of our forces are still gunning it. We have nearly conquered everything that we need to. We'll check how far they are on surrender progress. 82%, just a little bit more and we'll be there. And we'll have everything that we need. Hopefully the Canadians will be about to leave. Or not leave, but I guess just give up. Looks like they pulled their forces away, which is actually very convenient for us. And hopefully we'll be able to just drop on them and deal with that. Sadly, they ended up just landing right back on the port, which is problematic, although not terribly unexpected. The battle's not going great, but hopefully it will go better as time progresses. We'll pull all these units away and just land them nearby. Hopefully they'll get there somewhat soon. Alright, now we'll just ground attack. And evidently that did not help very much at all. Alright, let's see. We need to get these troops, and we'll just land them, and then charge over from land. They're taking some random islands just throughout. It's not great, but it's also not very problematic. That Panama was a victory point, which, I mean, obviously, of course it would be. It's a very strategic area. That's just a bummer for us. And it will just prolong the war. The new Canadian capital's in the far west, so we'll have to just charge over to get to that, and it'll take us quite some time. All of our forces generally are making good progress. We are taking over all of the major key cities. The Battle of Cologne's doing slightly poorly, which is still a problem. Can we all ground attack and do it continuously? Active until... let's see. Well, I guess continuous, whatever. And we are getting the worst end of this, which is a problem. Hopefully it will clean up, though, and work for us in the future. This force has made it as far as we've given it orders to go. They'll charge over to Washington, hopefully take over all of that. These troops will go over to Portland, Oregon. Those troops will just carve through, and hopefully that will be all we need to do to achieve victory and win the war. We'll speed this up a little bit. These forces don't actually help very much at all, so it looks like we'll just stop. We'll leave everybody where they're at for now. We will pick up some more forces, though. We'll see if we have anyone on the coast near any major port cities that we can just pluck up and bring over. Doesn't really look like it. Also, that group managed to avoid us, kind of annoyingly. So we'll just have to chase them down. Alright, they haven't taken any of these victory points back from us, though, so that's at least some good news. They are 87% of the way towards surrendering. Hopefully the Canadians will actually surrender once we take that. And once these units reorganize, we'll hopefully be able to charge forward and defeat that group. These units can probably just go to the port, and then we'll just charge them over. Looks like we'll win basically everywhere. We are having the problem of our forces just getting very split up from one another. And no one's really anywhere that's very helpful for them to be. More bombers, not strategic bombers, but we'll just put them there. Just keep an eye on them. All of you men are to just spread over, go wherever you can. Can we win this? Maybe. The battle's going slightly better for us now. And we'll just keep it up. Hopefully they'll run out of organization before we do. Those troops will eventually get into a position we can reinforce. And in a few moments we'll hopefully be able to just defeat the Canadians. But looks like we ended up getting one of our units surrounded. And they did take a victory point from us, which is offensive in every way. Alright, so we'll have to just move over and rescue this unit, as it's trapped behind enemy lines, evidently, despite the fact that there's not really any enemies or any lines anymore. That looks like a key point, so let's go take that. Des Moines, Jefferson City, all sorts of things. This unit actually is starting to get surrounded by Mexican infantry, so let's not do anything rash with them. We are facing some difficulties invading San Diego. Apparently we lost the Battle of Cologne. That is a key city, so it's important that we go take that back. Alright, and hopefully we'll get these forces to a port soon, and we'll just start picking them up. Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, all these places we're winning. You guys will just go up, you guys will go around, you guys will go down, you guys will go over. Looks like we're winning there. We did win in San Diego, that's interesting. I thought we would have just lost there. What's the victory conditions at? 92.6%. We're getting close. It's really down to the wire now. We'll see what ends up happening. Looks as though we lost that battle, so you are going to just retreat. Alright, that will all work. And we're nearly there. We are very nearly there. Let's see, there's a battle going very poorly. That's just in Mexico. We're going to keep falling back from there. We didn't really dedicate enough forces to have any hope of victory. You guys are going to fall back to San Diego and just hold the line there if you're able to. Let's see, what is this state? Salt Lake City, Utah. Alright, cool. Now I remember. It's the big Mormon one. You'd think I would know that, but I'm terrible at geography in my own country. So many states without any real notable history. Alright, these forces will just kind of go over. Everyone else is to just keep moving. We'll hopefully reinforce. Well, no, hopefully we'll win before they even get there. But if not, then they'll be able to reinforce and be somewhat helpful. Destroying underground resistance bases and all that. Pretty nice. Apparently we have a fractured government which is lowering our national unity, and I've probably had that the entire game. Good thing they don't have a nuclear program or any other way to take advantage of that. Alright, we have a new group of armored units, which we will just plant over here in Lisboa. And we'll use those eventually, but not quite yet, not quite for a while. We'll probably just use those to invade Mexico and just end the war once and for all. How well that will go remains to be seen. This battle's going mediocre, where our close air supports, they're just here, not really doing much at this moment. So we'll go rebase over here. We can't even ship troops through, or boats through the Panama Canal, which would have been very helpful for this. But that's part of the sacrifice we play, I guess. You guys are all to ground attack. Hopefully that will turn the tides here, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. And we're probably going to lose that city, which is a little annoying. 95%, so close and yet so far, as we're going to get pushed back just a little bit. But we can hopefully do this. It might take us a little while, but we'll get this done. Alright, all of you units should probably just rebase somewhere safer, so we'll just send you back to, I guess just back here to Panama. Everyone can rebase. Hopefully that group will all get put together in a moment. Looks like some Mexican forces are rolling up. Hopefully they don't take any American victory points from us, so we're going to have to retreat back and deal with that. We have a lot of industrial capacity we're not using, but there's not really anything to use it on. And let's just let the game tick forward as our troops cross the Rocky Mountains. You guys will see if we can just encircle that group. And we're waiting for a few things, mainly these troops to get into position to be airlifted away, or to just get picked up and transported by our ships. Looks like the Battle of Cologne's going alright. And we'll go ahead and rebase in New Orleans. Hopefully we'll be able to take a major port city from the Americans in a moment. We've won the Battle of Panama Canal approaches. That's not the actual battle we're looking forward to winning, but the Battle of Cologne is going well. We'll see which of these cities is the least defended and attack that one. No troops whatsoever in Los Angeles, so we'll charge into there. I hear Los Angeles was not really a thriving metropolitan center at this point in history. It was just kind of a small, not really backwater, but just a small place. Not that important. Probably important enough that they would delegate some forces to it, you would think, but evidently not right now. These units will be able to get plucked up pretty soon, and we'll just drop them over in Los Angeles once we clear up the Panama Canal zone. So let's go ahead and ground attack. Alright, hopefully they'll get their jobs done pretty soon. Hopefully around the time all these armored units are in position. We've won, good news, a bunch of advances, some disgruntled rabble that we're just going to ignore. Some infantry techs don't really matter anymore. Production, we have enough for upgrades, and we're still not going to be anywhere near using all of them. How long until you guys arrive? About a day, maybe a little more. More ships, more research is possible. We don't really even need to worry about it. It's July. I'm not sure if we could even research anything between now and the end of the game. These forces are still charging forward. Hopefully once we have all of these areas, we'll be able to just win it. Let's see, 99.8%. We might not even be able to land on them before they surrender, which is completely fine by me. Because if we take a look, well, that battle's going very poorly, so we'll not fight there. In fact, we'll retreat to make sure we don't lose Los Angeles. But we'll see. We might, it's really a race. Which of our forces will be the ones to overthrow their country, to get the final blow in and win this for us. We'll load all of you guys up. And we'll have to rebase you in Los Angeles, although it's alright, Los Angeles. And in just a few moments, we'll be able to land there, take a single port, or a single city, just a single thing from somewhere. And that will be enough. We will win this war. So yeah, this was, I would say, arguably... Oh no! The Canadians are back. And they're actually back in significant force in a bunch of places. So let's just go clean these areas up and make sure to control them and keep in control of them. So they got their old capital back and they're all doing governmental things in it, which is a bit tiresome. We will make them realize that that was a mistake in the very near future. Alright, and in just a moment we'll be able to end American resistance. So you forces, will send a mechanized unit, 2 mechanized units just around. The armored is just going to charge straight up and fight. Everyone else we're loading up. And it looks as though there's just a militia group in San Francisco. We can probably take that with some relative ease. Flying bombs we can now produce, so production, air wing, flying bombs. We have 177 industrial capacity to use. Let's get a lot of flying bombs. Can we land on San Francisco and win that battle? It looks as though we might be able to do that. The Brazilian Navy is engaging us. Hopefully they have a bad navy. And in just a few moments the war will be over and we will win. The Canadians will probably keep struggling through for a bit. Apparently the Brazilians are landing on us in Panama, which is annoying. Nuclear physics has been upgraded. San Francisco. Can we just win this naval engagement, please? You guys are to just do naval strikes. Hopefully it can work. And this should be the end of them. And there we go. Just like that, we have won. We have annexed the United States of America, all of these other countries. Apparently Canada is now also in Norway, and will just kind of exist there. All these other allied states are now gone, no longer existing. United Kingdom is still a thing, just as a weird little colonial African group. You guys can go rush over. I think we are winning this, or at least we're not fighting it yet. So you guys will all go fight that. You guys will take that city. You guys will rebase. Who are we even at war with anymore? Mexico, Canada, Brazil, and tiny pieces of various other countries. If we look though, it's just Communist China? Okay. Interesting. Alright, let's see then. What we'll do now is, first of all, pluck up these marine units. We'll go move over to here, and we'll land in this last Canadian city. That will hopefully be enough for us to just annex them. Once we get this group up. More armored units can be deployed, more carriers, more everything really. U troops are to start landing. Doesn't look like there's even going to be a battle fought. Alright. How did our forcing against Xinjiang do? Looks like we have all these rebel suppression units over here now. Oh, because India Command gets that back. Okay, that armored unit hasn't even made it into the Soviet Union yet, so it'll probably be quite some time. We have conquered Canada, though, which means we now are all of this portion of North America. We are also almost all of Europe, except for Sweden. Let's go ahead and look. The allies are now Mexico, Communist China, and Iceland, which we can't actually defeat because they don't have any victory points. And the Comintern is just Xinjiang. Other than that, we've really won. We have become the new world order, really. I mean, we still have Mexico to deal with, and Brazil, and Communist China. So, what we'll probably do is, I will just call this here for now. Apparently Communist China isn't even fighting us, which is interesting. Anyway, though, so what we'll do is we will start a new campaign in EU4 or in Crusader Kings 2. I'm tempted to maybe try my hand at doing both. Crusader Kings is really fun and I have a fun idea for it. But Crusader Kings takes a lot of effort to make videos for, so it might not be 6 days a week. We'll have to see how it all plays out. EU4 is really straightforward to make videos for, though, so I'll definitely make a game in EU4. I want to try a New World country, something like maybe the Aztecs, Inca, or Maya, one of those cultures, and see what we can do with it. So that's probably something we'll do. We'll have that up on Monday. We may also just get one final end note video for this campaign where we just defeat these remaining states. Probably go ahead and just puppet all of the remaining countries in the world just to ensure our dominance forever. And because we can't really make a time lapse after this series, what we'll do is just that. And once we have every single country in the world under our control, I feel like that will make up for our lackluster performance against, well, our lackluster performance in the time-lapse of our Italy game after Victoria 2, which really is why I picked Italy in Hearts of Iron 3. It's just kind of to redeem our country after that AI control. So, thanks very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll have a new series out on Monday, and probably something to just cap this off. Thank you very much again for watching. Have a great day.